Hello, friends. It is often said that words have power. Some words can heal us, while other words can deeply disturb our peace. But have you ever noticed that sometimes people insult you, criticize you, or speak bitterly to you, not because you are wrong, but because they are carrying anger and negativity inside themselves? And the biggest mistake we make is that we accept their negativity and allow it to control our minds. But this video will teach you exactly how to stay calm when someone tries to provoke you, how to protect your peace, and how to remain strong without reacting to every insult. Make sure to watch this video until the very end, because this simple Zen story can completely change the way you deal with negative people in your life. Let's begin. The story: The Wise Master and the Angry Man. Far away from the noisy city, there was a peaceful monastery surrounded by beautiful nature. A wise Zen master lived there with his students. He was famous for his patience and deep wisdom. He often told his students, "We cannot always control what happens around us, but we can always control how we choose to respond." One morning, the master and a young student went for a walk. The air was fresh, birds were singing, and everything felt peaceful. Suddenly, a stranger approached them from the opposite direction. As soon as the man saw the master, his face turned red with anger. For no reason at all, he began shouting insults. "You are all fakes." The man yelled, "You pretend to be holy, but your wisdom is just an act." The silent response. The student felt deeply hurt and expected the master to argue back. But the master did not react at all. His face remained completely calm, and he just kept walking. This made the stranger even angrier. Feeling ignored, he followed them and began insulting the master's family and ancestors. The student's blood began to boil. He could not stand the insults anymore and stepped forward to fight back. But the master gently held the student's hand and gestured for him to stay quiet. The man kept shouting for a while longer. However, when he realized that neither the master nor the student would give him a reaction, his anger lost its power. Feeling tired and defeated, he finally walked away. The lesson of the dirty clothes. As soon as the man left, the student asked anxiously, "Master, how could you stay silent? That man said such terrible things to you. Weren't you angry? Why didn't we teach him a lesson?" The master smiled and said, "I will answer you when we get back to the monastery." When they returned, the master went to his room and brought out a cloth bundle. A terrible, foul smell came from it. The master opened it to reveal filthy, muddy, and rotten clothes. The master handed them to the student and said, "Take off your clean clothes and put these on." The student pulled back in disgust. "No, master. These clothes are filthy and smell horrible. I don't even want to touch them." The master smiled and put the dirty clothes away. "This is the answer to your question," he said. "Choosing what to accept." The master explained, "Just like you refuse to accept those dirty clothes because they would ruin your cleanliness, I refuse to accept that man's insults. His anger, hatred, and bitterness belong to him. Until I accept them, they cannot belong to me." He continued, "If I had become angry, it would mean I accepted his dirty clothes. I would be wearing his negativity. Then, what would be the difference between him and me?" The master reminded his student that people in this world will often try to throw their garbage, jealousy, anger, and hatred onto others. But it is always up to us whether we choose to pick it up or leave it behind. The takeaway for our lives: when you try to grow and succeed, not everyone will be happy for you. Some people will criticize you or will try to drag you down. Their goal is often to disturb your peace and distract you from your goals. If you get angry, you let them win. True strength is not about answering every insult or proving yourself to everyone. True strength is keeping your mind calm when others try to disturb your peace. Never let someone else's negativity ruin your day. Don't wear the dirty clothes of their anger. Keep your mind clean, protect your peace, and move forward with dignity. Motivation life lesson from this story. Here is a deep motivational breakdown of the life lessons you can learn from this Zen story, organized to help you build an unbreakable mind and protect your energy. 1. The core truth: you always hold the power. The absolute most important lesson from this story is wrapped up in the master's words. What happens around you may not always be in your control, but how you react to it is always in your control. In life, you will encounter rude drivers, toxic colleagues, jealous friends, and internet trolls. If your happiness depends on everyone being nice to you, you will always be miserable. The Master teaches us that true freedom is not a life without storms. It is being the calm center inside the storm. You cannot control the garbage people throw, but you have 100% control over whether you catch it. 2. Insults are projections, not your reality. When the angry stranger screamed at the Zen master, his words had nothing to do with the master's actual character. The stranger was full of internal bitterness, self-hatred, and anger, and he was simply looking for a target to dump it on. When people insult, criticize, or try to discourage you, it is almost never about you. It is a reflection of their own internal pain. A person who is genuinely happy, fulfilled, and at peace will never go out of their way to tear someone else down. Only broken people try to break others. Once you realize that their venom is just a symptom of their own sickness, your anger turns into pity, and their words lose all their power to hurt you. 3. Silence is ultimate strength, not weakness. To the young disciple, the master's silence looked like cowardice. He wanted to use logic, argue, and fight back. This is what our egos always want us to do because the ego is fragile and demands respect. But the master knew a psychological secret. Anger is a fire that desperately needs the oxygen of your reaction. When someone attacks you, they want a reaction. They want to see you get upset, stammer, or scream because it proves they have control over your emotions. When you respond with absolute, calm indifference, you starve the fire of oxygen. Your silence is a massive shield that signals, you are speaking, but you are not important enough to affect my mind. 4. Excellence attracts critics. Notice that the disciple felt proud and peaceful when everything was quiet, but panicked the moment a critic appeared. As you try to grow, build a business, get in shape, or succeed in life, you will attract haters. Mediocrity loves company. When you start leveling up, it reminds insecure people of their own lack of effort. Because they lack the courage to climb up to your level, they try to drag you down to theirs. Do not stop your journey to throw stones at every barking dog. Expect the critics, ignore them, and let your massive success be your noise. 5. A daily action plan for inner peace. To live out the lesson of this story, practice these 3 steps whenever someone provokes you. The 4-second rule. When someone insults or triggers you, pause for 4 seconds. Do not speak. Breathe. This stops your brain's automatic fight or flight reflex. The mental filter. Ask yourself, is this person someone I respect? If the answer is no, treat their comment like a delivery of rotting garbage. Say internally, this belongs to you, not me, and drop it. Pivot to execution. Immediately put your energy back into your work, your goals, or your loved ones. Do not waste a single drop of your precious life force on someone who doesn't matter. Ultimate takeaway. Here is the ultimate takeaway from the story, written in simple, clear English. The greatest takeaway from this story is that your peace of mind is your most valuable possession, and you are the only person who can protect it. When people treat you badly, insult you, or try to start an argument, they are offering you a bundle of dirty clothes. If you get angry, yell back, or spend hours worrying about what they said, you're actively choosing to take those dirty clothes and put them on. You are letting their bad mood ruin your clean mind. Always remember, you cannot control what other people do or say. You can always control how you choose to react. True strength does not mean winning every argument or shouting louder than your enemies. True strength is having the power to remain completely calm, smile, and walk away. Leave their negativity with them. It belongs to them, not to you. Keep your mind clean and keep moving forward. Learn English from this story. Learning English through stories is one of the most effective ways to master the language because you see vocabulary and grammar used in real-life contexts. Below is an English lesson based directly on the Zen story. It highlights key vocabulary, explains essential idioms, and breaks down the grammar so you can easily understand and use these concepts yourself. Part 1. Key vocabulary definitions. When learning new English words, it is best to understand how they function in a sentence. Here are the most important words from the story. Monastery, noun, a quiet place where monks live and practice their religion far away from regular cities. Disciple, noun, a student or follower who learns from a wise teacher or leader. Wisdom, noun, the ability to use your knowledge and experience to make good decisions and judgments. Hypocrite, noun, a person who pretends to have good virtues, morals, or beliefs that they do not actually possess. In short, someone who says one thing but does the opposite. Furious, adjective, extremely angry. This is a much stronger word than just angry. Tolerate, verb, to accept or endure something unpleasant or difficult without complaining or fighting back. Filthy, adjective, extremely dirty or disgusting. Pollute, verb, to make something dirty, impure, or unclean. While we often use it for nature, the story uses it to describe making our minds unclean with bad thoughts. Sovereignty, noun, absolute power, control, or independence over yourself and your own choices. Part 2. Idioms and phrasal verbs explained. Native English speakers frequently use phrasal verbs, verbs combined with particles like up or down, and idioms. The story includes several common expressions you can use in daily conversation. Blood began to boil. When the story says the student's blood began to boil, it means he became extremely angry. You use this expression when a situation makes you feel furious or outraged. Example, my blood began to boil when I saw him lying to my face. Lash out. To lash out means to suddenly attack someone, either physically or with harsh words. The angry stranger lashed out at the Zen master without any good reason. Example, she was stressed about work, so she lashed out at her family. Pull someone down. To pull someone down means to destroy someone's happiness, success, or confidence. Negative people often try to pull others down to their level. Example, don't let their jealousy pull you down. Keep working hard. Fight back. To fight back means to defend yourself or resist an attack. The student wanted to fight back, but the master chose to remain completely silent. Example, if someone treats you unfairly, you have the right to fight back. Practice and pronunciation tips. To speak English confidently and naturally when sharing this story or its lessons, you need to master pacing, emotional delivery, and the rhythm of native speakers. Here are practical practice techniques and pronunciation tips specifically tailored to this story. 1. Mastering word stress for emotional impact. In English, changing which word you stress completely changes the meaning and power of the sentence. Practice saying this key sentence aloud, emphasizing the bolded words to create contrast. What happens around you is not in your control, but how you react is always in your control. Around. Say this with a slightly higher pitch to represent the noisy external world. React. Push more air out of your lungs on this word to emphasize personal choice. Always stretch the vowel sound, always, to highlight absolute certainty. 2. Connected speech and linking. Native English speakers do not pronounce words separately. They slide them together. If a word ends with a consonant sound and the next word begins with a vowel sound, link them together like they are one single word. Practice blending these phrases from the story smoothly. Went for a. Sounds like went for a. Opposite direction. Sounds like opposite direction. Out of your. Sounds like maybe your. Walked away. Sounds like walked away. Notice the ed in walked links as a T or D sound straight into away. 3. The flap T sound for a natural accent. If you want a narration to sound fluid and natural, master the flap T. When the letter T falls between two vowel sounds, it changes from a sharp, hard T to a very soft D sound. Practice saying these words from the text using a soft D sound. Bitter, pronounce it as bidder. Negativity, pronounce it as negativity. Dirty, pronounce it as dirdy. 4. Narration pacing, the pause and punch technique. When telling a story on video or audio, silence is just as important as words. Use pauses directly before or after an important word to capture the listener's attention. Try reading this excerpt aloud, observing the timing indicators. The master smiled, put the dirty clothes back into the bundle, and said, "This is the answer to your question." The short pause creates anticipation. The longer pause right before the quote signals to your listener's brain that a highly important message or punchline is coming up next. 5. Active practice exercise, shadowing. The absolute fastest way to improve your pronunciation is a technique called shadowing. Listen to a native speaker reading a short fable or inspirational story. Repeat what they say with a delay of only 1 or 2 seconds. Do not wait for the sentence to finish. Try to mimic their exact pitch, speed, pauses, and mouth shapes in real time like an echo. Practicing this with just 3 minutes of audio a day will completely transform how smoothly your spoken English flows. The deepest truth of this story is simple. Your situation is not always in your control, but your response is always in your control. True strength is not about replying to every insult or proving yourself to everyone. True strength is remaining calm when others try to disturb your peace. So, never allow someone else's negativity to pollute your thoughts. Do not wear the dirty clothes of someone else's anger, jealousy, or hatred. Protect your peace, protect your mind, and keep moving forward with dignity. If this story brought value to your life, please give this video a thumbs up, share it with someone who needs to hear this today, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more stories to learn English and grow your mind. Thank you for watching. Keep practicing your English, and I will see you in the next story.